Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 faces. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Let's listen to Bhagavan Satsang.
Mahabharata beautifully says, let the fight be in Kurukshetra. In Sanskrit, Kurukshetra means space of creation, field of creation. Kuru, doing. Let the fight be in the space of doing, creation. Please listen, it is not Gurukshetra, it is Kurukshetra. Kuru means doing. The whole place of fight should be different, not with the lowest realm, with the highest realm. So you will always be in the middle. In your fight itself, you will be in the middle. And the end, you will always be in the peak. So let always your fight be, will I become CEO or not? Not that will I lose this job or not. Now all your fight is, will I lose this job or not? All your worrying, all your thinking, all your cognition, all your basic cognition is, will I lose this job or not? Even in your nightmare, in your dreams, you are only worried about, will I lose this job or not? No. Will I become CEO or not? Shift the battlefield. Let it be Kurukshetra. Let the Kurukshetra be the battlefield. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. All, please listen. The fight in your life is in the field of creation. You are living Dharma. If it is in the field of failure, you are living Adharma. This is the exact meaning of the first sloka in Gita. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveda yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavas chaiva kimakurvata sanchaya. Listen. Life is fight till you are enlightened. But let your fight be in the field of creation, not constantly in the field of losing. Let your visualization be, will I become CEO or not? Will I reach my peak health or not? Will I become a great yogi or not? Will I become a great jnani or not? Will I become a rich guy or not? Will I become a powerful guy or not? Will I become a leader or not? Will I become enlightened or not? Let the fight be in the direction of Kuru, creation. I tell you, if your fight is in the direction of Kuru, very easily you will win the game with very less stress, very less stress. I tell you, there are some political leaders who have very less stress than sadhus and swamis, because their fighting zone is in the field of creation. The sadhus, their fighting zone is in the field of failure. The ground on which the battle happens decides your existence and expansion. Don't be constantly fighting with, will the snake bite and die? Will the snake bite me and I will die? Or will I get a heart attack and die? Will my health collapse? Will I become bankrupt? Will I lose this job? No. When will I become yogi? When will I reach my peak health? When will I become CEO? When will I become the top peak power center? When will I become enlightened? Let the battlefield, battleground be shifted. And I tell you, it does not take more than 48 hours to convince you to shift the battleground for yourself. You just need to complete with some of the self-doubts which you are carrying, which you got it as a Sridhana from your family, from your elders. Just you need to complete with those self-doubts which you got as a Sridhana from your elders. Complete with them. Change the battleground. Immediately you will experience so much of completion. The moment you change the battleground, you may become even enlightened. Because it's your default parking spot that decides whether you are enlightened or not. Otherwise, you are enlightened. You just need to remember and reclaim it. The best way to remember and reclaim it is complete with the self-doubt and shift the battleground. See, now your battleground is, any one day I am going to become bankrupt. Let me delay as much as possible. Instead, any one day I am going to become the richest being. Let me do it as early as possible. So your goal should be your parking spot, default parking spot. You can take your car wherever you want. Finally you will park where it belongs to, means your garage. Same way your mind can go wherever it wants. But at the end of the day it should come and get parked in the spot of your goal, not your accident.
So beautifully, Bhagwan gave a very powerful cognition how we have to, even the war that we need to win, what we need to start cognizing, how we need to exist, not as a worker, but as a CEO. Then the way we think, will be completely different and manifest as reality. Now, let's
1.19 Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi Shakti Sandhane Sharirotpatihi.
Such a beautiful sutra from Shiva Sutra 1.19. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, uniting in oneness with the supreme power, the embodiment of that which is cognized and built, manifest at once as length, breadth, depth, time and space. Bhagavan says 4 different instructions here. He says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, continuously declaring, I am Paramashiva, deciding and living, I am Paramashiva, and then uniting in oneness with the supreme power, entangling Shaktipada, that no boredom and tiredness for Paramashiva, he is going to continuously manifest his reality. The embodiment of that which is cognized. How Bhagavan beautifully says, which is cognized, that is only our reality. What we already know in our cognition is our reality. What we believe, what we are living, what we are understanding in our reality is the cognition. Cognition is what you perceive and what you go through inside and with all your filters and what you respond. All put together is cognition. If somebody says this color, this is a table, this is orange, or this is a school, I will not have second opinion because I know it is correct when they say it correct. So that is a cognition. Now, Bhagavan beautifully says, this I am Paramashiva is cognized inside us. That is the most important part. And willed. The will is always how I perceive myself. I perceive myself as CEO. And from that is going to be my parking lot. From that, I take all decisions, all manifestations, all what I do. Then I will come back to that as my creation. Kurukshetra, Bhagavan beautifully said that it is creation. Because it is getting created to who you should be. And beautifully said, willed, cognized and willed. I know I am the CEO. I have cognized I am CEO. Now I know I am in Shaktipada with the Paramashiva space and I am manifesting as Shakti. Such a clarity that Bhagavan has given in this powerful cognition and the Shastra Pramana. Now let's go to the one different subject. Beautifully it narrates, the Pandavas arrive at Kailaka, the mighty snake. Nahusha ties up Bhima. Yudhishthira finds him in a snake grip. The snake offers for a free Bhima if Yudhishthira answers his question. The snake and Yudhishthira ask each other question on dharma, the theory of birth and rebirth, the theory of caste, the relative merits of 4 virtues, charity, kind speech, truthfulness, and unenviousness, universal spirit, and how to achieve moksha. Finally, the snake is freed from the curse and release Bhishma. This is in Mahabharata, Book 3, Vana Parva. The snake is revealed to Nahusha and receives the salvation.
By the favor of that high-souled Agastya, I have got your younger brother for my meal during the 6th part of the day. Neither will I set him free, nor do I wish for any other food. But if today you could answer the questions put by me, then I shall deliver Vrukodar, that is Bhim, At this Yudhishthir said, O serpent, ask whatever you like. If I can, I will answer your questions in order to gratify you, O snake. You know fully what should be known by Brahmans. Therefore, O king of snakes, I shall hear you and then answer your queries. The serpent said, O Yudhishthir, say, who is a Brahman and what should be known? By your speech I infer you to be highly intelligent. Yudhishthir said, O foremost of serpents, the wise say, he is a Brahman in whom truth, charity, forgiveness, good conduct, benevolence, observance of the rights of his order, and mercy are seen. And, O serpent, that which should be known is the Param Brahma, or Supreme Brahma, in which there is neither happiness nor misery, and attaining that, beings are not affected with misery. What is your opinion? The serpent said, O Yudhishthir, truth, charity, forgiveness, benevolence, non-violence and kindness, and the Ved, which work the benefit of all the four orders, that is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, are seen even in the Shudra. As regards the object to be known, and which you have alleged is without both happiness and misery, I do not see anything that is devoid of happiness and misery. Yudhishthir said, those characteristics that are present in a Shudra do not exist in a Brahman, nor do those that are in a Brahman exist in a Shudra. And a Shudra is not a Shudra by birth alone, nor is a Brahman by birth alone. The wise say, a Brahman is one in whom those virtues are seen, and people call him a Shudra in whom those qualities do not exist, even though he be a Brahman by birth. And again, as for your claim that the object to be known, that is Param Brahma, as I said, does not exist, because nothing exists that is devoid of both happiness and misery. What you said, O serpent, is true generally, but sometimes, just as heat does not exist in cold, nor is cold in heat, so can't there exist an object in which both happiness and misery don't exist? The serpent said, O king, if you recognize a Brahman by his characteristics, then, O long-lived one, the distinction of caste becomes futile, as long as conduct does not come into play. Yudhishthir said, in human society, O mighty and highly intelligent serpent, it is difficult to ascertain one's caste because of indiscriminate sexual intercourse among the four orders. This is my opinion. Men belonging to all orders are indiscriminately giving birth to offspring upon women of all the orders, and speech, sexual intercourse, birth and death are common to all men. The rishis have also borne testimony to this by using expressions at the beginning of a sacrifice such as Ye Yajamahe, that is, of whatever caste we may be, we celebrate the sacrifice. Therefore, those that are wise have asserted that character is the chief essential requisite. The natal ceremony of a child is performed before division of the umbilical cord. The mother then acts as its Savitri and father as its spiritual teacher. If doubts arise on the child's caste, O Prince of Serpents, Swayambhuva Manu has declared that the child is considered to be a Shudra as long as he is not initiated in the Veds, and even after having gone through the ceremonies of purification, the child does not conform to the rules of good conduct, O excellent snake. The thoughtful decision is that the mixed castes are having a strong effect. Whosoever now conforms to the rules of pure and virtuous conduct, I have already designated him as a Brahman. The serpent replied, O Yudhishthir, you are acquainted with all that is fit to be known, and having listened to your words, how can I now eat up your brother Vrukodar? Footnote: the first part of the following verse by Krishna from
So beautifully, Yudhishthira answered all the questions, and the snake released Bhima, and the snake received the salvation. Now let's go to Atma Pramana.
I have seen my gurus, they will just draw the number and worship the number and manifest powers. Just like Varuna, Vayu, Indra, all of them are gods. Just numbers are gods. Please listen. When you worship cow as conscious existence, the amount of good things you receive in your life, only a cow worshipper knows. Same way, if you worship the Bhuma Devi as goddess, the amount of good things you get, only a worshipper knows. Why I insist on physically detoxifying you? Because if you physically detox yourself, you can grasp what I mean when I say numbers are gods. I've seen just in copper sheet, my gurus, they will write the numbers. Worship that number and reveal the great principles to me. Not only that, just by worshipping that number, they will manifest powers. Let me narrate this incident, then you will understand. Once my guru was trying to teach me the Surya Siddhanta, means how the Panchanga can be predicted and penned down. He was trying to show how the sun is center and earth moves around the sun and moon is around the earth, and the whole structure, including the sun, moon, the whole thing is also moving. He described in an elaborate way, and then he took a chalk piece, just drew some numbers on various parts of my body. The numbers belong to each graha, is directly connected to our internal organs. Each graha influences one of our internal organ heavily. And he drew that number numbers on my body, and he drew that same numbers on external, on the floor. Explaining how when those grahas change, when those stars move, regular cosmic happenings like Amavasya, Purnima, how those things should be predicted are calculated. That is more like a calculation. It's not even prediction. But its influence on the humanity need to be predicted. Its influence on the individual's lives need to be predicted. My gurus were trying to map this whole science and explain this to me. I think almost the core fundamental structure of Jyotisha and Surya Siddhanta I am trying to explain. Chandaha padautu vedasya hastau kalpoda patyate jyotishamayanam chakshur niruttam shrotramuchyate sikshakranam tu vedasya mukam vyakaranam smrutam. This is a very traditional verse. In any Gurukul they will chant this and make you repeat. It's a description. 6 angas of the Vedas in Veda Purusha's body. Jyotisham ayanam chakshu, meaning Jyotish Sastra is considered as eyes of the Veda Purusha. From this we understand that the Vedic astrology is as old as Vedas, or in other words, does not have beginning, anadi. This Shastra is also called Hora Shastra. Hora is an abbreviation of Ahoratram, meaning day and night. It means it is the systematic study of time and its components and parameters and its influence on physical, chemical, biological existence of what we know as life. Listen. One very funny incident happened when he was teaching me. I was so intensely immersed in his teachings. He was showing me, hey, this is Surya. This influences your brain thinking system. This is Rahu. He influences your liver. The actions liver performs physically, its influence on your thinking system, everything, if you map it to the description of Rahu, it will absolutely match. Guru, Brihaspati, is the decision-making mechanism which influences your will persistence, Agnya Chakra. Pituitary glands and its impact on your existence is directly Guru. He was explaining step by step how each of these grahas and their numbers and how they influence your lifestyle, patterns, everything. I'll repeat exact one line. He was touching that Rahu description of how he was describing Rahu and touched my body. Infused that Rahu energy in my liver. I could see immediately so much happening inside me. I just vomited, literally, physically. Felt so fresh, alive, relieved. Of course, after cleaning all that place, everything, my Guru has explained. ஈர நேர்பட்டா ஆயுள் நீளுந்தம்பி. In Tamil he said, if the liver is straightened out, life will increase. It is directly Rahu. Rahu is responsible for your longevity. Rahu can influence and put you in addictions and kill you, or he can keep you addiction free, or addicted to right habits and food and keep you happy, healthy for any long. This whole thing is related to your liver. If the liver decides to addict you for certain food, nothing can be done. Just by remembering that food, you will be forced, your whole system will be pushed to eat it. After eating, you will repent, but you will not stop eating. He said, integrity of the liver to the purpose of your existence makes you long, happy, healthily living. Because liver sends the signals about hunger and what kind of food you like, the taste, everything. The memories of the food and its taste flashing in your system and you being influenced to eat that same kind of food, timing, rhythm, everything is liver.
Beautifully, Bhagavan said about Rahu and liver. Now let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana are the initiated disciple devotees all over the world experiencing the manifesting power of length dimension. Now we have the volunteers from the courtyard session who have experienced the power of length. Logical question on different subject using Banyan Tree and Jnana Anjana. Let's listen to them.
We have several questions we started asking him, and he sat down. He was not actually looking at the Krishna Sila. Where I say that, he just looked up and he got most of the answer right. So I'm going to have Michelle share a few of the questions he got right, and then I'll share the rest, and then I'll continue to share the other things. Yeah. So you just share the few questions first. Yeah.
So we started off with questions, asking him temperature questions. I asked him what was the temperature in Toronto, and he got it in 5 seconds. It was 4 degrees. So I thought I was gonna be smart and say, well, in Canada, it's cold right now, it's winter. What's the temperature in Vancouver, which was -4? And he gave it to me in Fahrenheit, and when we converted it, it was -4. I also asked him what was the time in London, and he got it in 7 seconds, and it was 11:19. While working with him, he started off 2 minutes and getting faster and faster and faster, to the point where he sat there and he looked at our group and he says, "I'm manifesting." More and more as he goes on, it's like us being impressed with him, and he's impressed too with the and it's taken us so much time to get these questions to ask him, and the answers just come out so fast.
Prataksha Pramana. Scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is the very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see, it got to be one. If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Setting up the items for doing the length dimension using a Paramashiva Shila, large amount of information, camera with the timestamp, the granite slab, Jnana Anjana, and pen and paper. Take few minutes to set up the camera, download the time stamp app, click on the video, ensure that the time is shown on the screen. The timestamp is clear and vividly seen. Make sure the camera is facing you in a bright and a quiet place. The person and the spiritual product like Paramashiva Shila and the paper where he's writing down, everything is visibly clear. No Bluetooth or electronic device or books are around this place. Make sure the whole video recording is taken in a very nice way because these are Shaktis and all the amazing things will be happening here in this video. Guidelines to manifest the powers. Turn on the video recording, apply the Jnana Anjana on your third eye, bring your awareness to your third eye, randomly ask the detail has defined answers like stories, prose, poetries, lokas, akashic reading, and keywords. Use the Paramashiva Shila for manifesting through the third eye. And whatever the Paramashiva Shila shows, make sure you note it down and compare the original. And the results are matching exactly with a large amount of text with the keywords, key concepts, and context would be the perfect manifestation. If only some and portion of it is manifested, you have started manifesting wonderful. Start celebrating the manifestation. You will start manifesting more powers. Verify all the videos authentically and share the videos with powerful cognition with others and listen to the others' experience of the manifestation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me
explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. These all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shared form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and untouched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are untouched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers. They start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivam.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. complete completion, to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva, that everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you'll be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process for manifesting the powers of large amount of information. No video editing should be done on the power manifestation videos. Verify video is not stopped or restarted during the process of manifestation. All videos should have timestamp and wide angle view. Do not tamper with the question by showing the methods or giving the clues is completely prohibited. Do not prepare the questions or answer in front of the manifester. If the answer is different in metric system, please convert it accordingly before verifying the result. Do not use the electronic device or books during the manifestation or Bluetooth. Give complex, difficult question that you don't know the answer, that you have to really search for it, because these are third eye, and simply third eye will reveal any answers. Automatically, results should be matched with the as seen exactly by the anyone commonly, and not interpreted the result. Thank you for participating in the power manifestation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there, and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains, when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham